So apparently, Jason Ward is spreading the lie that Ray toys outsell Mandalorian.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and we got a little bit of news today. Today, me and Bespin Bulletin, we're hanging out playing Fortnite as we do, and we're like, oh, hey, today's Snyder show. So I needed to know, hey, what's going on over there? So I messaged Chris Spreezy. I said, hey, Chris, are you going to watch Snyder show to see if there's any Star Wars news? And he said, yeah, because I usually watch it like later in the evening. And so he does, and then he messaged back, and this was what Jeff Snyder said. And here is the article Bespin just got out. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II cast as a lead in Damon Lindelof's Star Wars movie. Got to add the up talk at the end because it's a question. And this is the guy right here. So it looks pretty cool. Got some cool chains. Got a Versace shirt on. So you can give Bespin a coffee if you want. If you read a site, you should. Otherwise, give me money, pieces of shit. It's been a little while since we've had an update regarding the upcoming Star Wars movie being written by Damon Lindelof, The Leftovers, and directed by Shermeen Obaid-Chinoy, The Marvels. But today we may have had a substantial one from Jeff Snyder, who has been the only person in recent times providing any updates on the project. During the latest episode of Jeff Snyder's podcast, The Hot Mic, which he co-hosts with John Roca, Snyder was asked if there's any updates he could share on Damon Lindelof's mysterious Star Wars film. Snyder was the first to break the news that Damon Lindelof was working on a Star Wars project in the spring last year, months before the trades began reporting the news. And in most recent times, shared that casting is already underway on the project, with the two leads already cast. When the question was asked, Snyder began to laugh and prefaced, I don't know if this is like I've heard a thing or speculation. This is just a drawing connections thing. I'll put it that way. Snyder continued and recalls tidbits he's received in the past, that there's two leads in the film, a man and a woman, both people of color, and adds that the male actor came attached when the project was being put together. Snyder then asks the audience who Damon Lindelof worked with on his last series, that being HBO's Watchmen, to which his co-host John Roca responded with Yahya Abdul-Mateen II II, to which Jeff Snyder nods his head and says it fits with previous descriptions he's given about the male lead in the past, most notably that the actor has bounced successfully between both television and films, and signs off saying that Yahya is Star Wars is a real possibility. You can read Snyder's comments below. We talked about how the leads are black, right? It's a black man and a black woman. I was told, and I think I said this before, so make sure to note this when you're doing it. I've already said this. The black actor came attached to the movie. Who does Damon Lindelof have a relationship with? Who did he just work with on the last thing that got him this job? You want to say it so I don't have to? Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I mean, did he fit the description that I was given about an actor that's gone back and forth between film and television and yet has never been a lead in his own film? I guess you could say that. Furiosa, I consider him a lead in that movie. But again, the movie is called Furiosa, so he technically fits that description. Are we looking at Yahya in Star Wars? I think it's a possibility. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is without question one of the rising stars in Hollywood at the moment, as he previously mentioned. And then he led Damon Lindelof's last series, Watchmen, for HBO. Yahya is probably best known for playing Black Manta in 28 blockbuster Aquaman, and will appear in the sequel releasing later this year. Though Snyder claims Abdul-Mateen II has not led a film. This is untrue, as he led Nia DaCosta's fantastic Candyman, which released in 2021, which got pretty good reviews, I think. Personally, I'd be very excited to see Yahya Abdul-Mateen II in Star Wars and to see him collaborate with Damon Lindelof once again. I think Abdul-Mateen II is truly a fantastic actor, and it would be a pleasure to see him in a galaxy far, far away. Hopefully, we get news on the female lead soon, but it's likely fans won't have to wait long for news on the Lindelof project, as is rumored Some details will be revealed at Star Wars Celebration, which takes place in April. And then you can listen to Bestman's podcast, give him a coffee, and his socials. He's Bestman Bulletin on the socials. Make sure you follow him if you don't. So sounds it doesn't sound rock hard, you know what I mean? But it sounds like he's reduced it to that person. Does that make sense? I think it does. And so we might be seeing the lead on the next Star Wars movie right there. And so just to give some analysis, not to cause doubt, or because I don't know anything. Only thing when I asked about it was I was told it's another ensemble film, so expect that. And this obviously lines up with the little bit of things that I've heard, that like Rey's not the main character in that film, Poe's not the main character in that film. It's going to be somebody like who we just talked about. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not going to be, and it doesn't mean that Rey won't be in it, or she might not show up or whatever. It doesn't, it's just, that's on the table. That's a real possibility that's going to happen in that film or in that series. And I think that's another important thing to note, is that this is supposed to be a series where the first film, if successful, will get us the third film. And it sounds like it's like the same kind of deal that they had with the Game of Thrones cats, which was 2 movies for sure. The first movie is successful, there will be a third film. Well, they'll do a second and a third. So, it makes sense. And then Nolan notes that Yahya is having a real moment in Hollywood here. Jedi, Avengers, and DC villain. So that's pretty good. That is a pretty good run. I mean, and then the only thing I could see like going against it at all, this doesn't really go against it, but let's just like throw it out there, is he's like in his like mid 30s, I'd say. And so if he's going to be a bit like closer to 50 if the series does what they would want it to do, right, by the time it's done. But that's not really bad, and he's probably going to age really well. But also Pedro Pascal's a Mandalorian, and he's almost 50 right now. He's not far from it. It's closer to 50 than he's not. Hey, what's up, dude? Bestman says, the only weird thing is that he films the Marvel series Wonder Man this summer in the States, and he's the lead of that series. That's a pretty big eyebrow raise there. However, if he's the male lead, and it's a Marvel and a Star Wars film, clearly the schedules, if this pans out, this could be scheduled. They could coordinate the schedules potentially if they really wanted him in both films. And once again, Nike Heck says, Chris Breezy asked Jeff. Chris Breezy, he's our guy on the inside. Like, he's able to watch Jeff's show live. So much appreciated, and much appreciated to Jeff for sharing what he knows. I appreciate it a lot. He runs a good show. So make sure you watch it if you want like normal Hollywood stuff. Definitely a show you should be watching. And once again, thank you to Bestman Bulletin for writing the article. I was grabbing my tacos for my Taco Thursday with Penny, and then Spreezy's texting me. He's like, "He said it, dude. He said it." I was like, okay. But yeah, let's put the guy up on the screen again. But I mean, he's a very handsome dude. So could I see him being the lead in a Star Wars film? Easily. It's something that I could see happening. I haven't seen The Watchmen yet. I still haven't got around to watching it. I've only heard good things. I know Rob loved it, as Bestman says, he's a sexy motherfucker, and there you go. I mean, it comes down to the age-old question. Would you let Bix peg you to be your boyfriend? The answer is yes. Darth Maximus says, can't wait. So I hope this pans out. I'm in this. I'm going to consider it a rumor because Snyder's not saying it concretely. Snyder's not saying like this 100%, but he is highly alluding to it and saying it. So it's I'm going to call this a really solid rumor personally. Like, that's where it's at with me. It's like probably going to pan out. But for now, consider it to be a rumor. And do your best to not fall in with what the grifters are going to say as they pick up on it, to like try to like, Because what are the people? There's a lot of people that are just spreading straight out false rumors. You know, it's the Rey movie and stuff like that. What are they going to say? They're going to go, "Oh, Kathleen Kennedy, fire trucks." All right, they're going to say that, like, they're going to make up some like drama, you know, and Kathleen Kennedy fired Rey because she's a little bitch, something like that. They'll take it someplace stupid. So don't fall into it. And then Bestman says, I don't think the grifters liked Watchmen. Yeah, the truth is the grifters don't actually like things. They're back in the day, they would be what we don't call nerds. But then being a nerd became cool, they think, and then they stuck to that, and then they saw they can make money off of it. And then now they go, I'm such a nerd, I hate everything. It's like, whatever, bitch. Nolan says, I can't wait for my feed to be a ton of nerds talking shit about in spin kick videos. Yeah, that sounds about right. That hits close to home. But anyways, that's pretty much why I came back on, was just to share this piece of news with you guys. And it sounds likely. If I didn't think there was a real possibility that this is going to pan out, I wouldn't have jumped back on. And the only thing I've heard in the last very recent times about that Lindelof project, like I said, is that it is it's not going to just have like one actor in it. It's not going to be it's not going to have like a single lead, and it's going to be an ensemble like the other Star Wars movies. Like, I was like, it was done in love, but when they said that, it was almost like, of course it's going to be an ensemble piece, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Because of course, like, what hasn't been? And then what did the grifters say? Oh, if it's called Andor, why isn't Andor the main dude in it? Why is there all this Luthen stuff if it's called Andor? Why is Kenobi not the only character in Kenobi? Bait and switch. You know, they're gonna do all that shit. They're fucking stupid. I mean, what do you want? You know? But basically, he's gonna be the male lead, and Snyder said that there's a female lead. This is all Snyder stuff, not my stuff. I'm not trying to take any credit for anybody's work, you know. I appreciate it. I appreciate that he brought us what he's hearing, what he thinks he knows. And you know, if it all pans out, that's fucking great, because it would be awesome if we're getting stuff from Snyder on the reg, you know, that's telling us what's going on with Star Wars. That only helps. I've said it a million times. Like, I don't like casting stuff personally. Casting news usually makes me nervous, unless, like, the last piece of casting news I had was Andy Serkis, I think, in Andor. And that one I liked because he was filming. Like, when they're filming, you know it's on. But sometimes I'll get like who's supposed to be the role, and then by the time it comes time to like sign it, it falls apart. It doesn't happen. Or the agents start leaking shit to get you to cover it, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm going to assume that like Snyder wouldn't fall for some shit like that. So I'm gonna, because he seems pretty smart to me from what I know of his work and from what I've seen. He seems like a smart man. So I don't think he'd fall for any stupid shit like that. He seems, you know, he knows Hollywood. So really good chance this is real. A good chance this is it. So I'm excited. I won't be disappointed if that's the case. And I'll see everyone tomorrow at the same bat time on the same bat channel. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the podcast in audio and video form on YouTube, and on Spotify. You could listen to the show and watch the video. So you could transition back and forth if you prefer that. So anyways, I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time, and make sure you like the video. See you guys next time.
So apparently, Jason Ward is spreading the lie that Rey toys outsell Mandalorian.
It's the end of the show. Come
on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.